My friends, I want to share with you a story that happened in the freezing forests of Belgium on a cold winter night in 1944. This is not just a war story. It is the story of how humanity can shine even in its darkest moments.
Oh my God, this cold is getting to my bones. How good some of Mother's hot soup would be right now.
22-year-old Frank Morrison came from a small town in Ohio. He had grown up on his family's farm and had never seen snow in his life. But now, in the middle of the Ardennes Forest, in freezing cold, he was facing the enemy. The experience Frank would have that night would change not only his life, but also the life of the enemy facing him forever. Well, my friends, have you ever thought, when does a person start to see their enemy as a brother?
Morrison, come here, son. The Germans are positioned 200 meters ahead. You'll go on a reconnaissance mission tonight.
Yes, sir, Captain Williams.
As Frank was walking silently in the darkness of that night, his foot suddenly got stuck in the snow. In the pit he fell into, he found a German soldier in front of him. Both of them pointed their guns at each other.
Don't shoot, I'm wounded.
Years later, Frank would describe that moment as follows.
At that moment, I saw not an enemy, but a young man who was scared, like me. Blood was flowing from his leg, just like it was flowing from my arm. And
the two young men, on the brink of death, looked at each other. Frank would discover the best side of humanity that freezing night. The wounded German soldier's name was Hans Mueller. He came from Hamburg and had a mother waiting for him at home.
Mutter, ich will nach Hause.
Are you saying mother? Me too. I miss my mother too.
Frank made a decision that night. Instead of leaving Hans to die there, he would try to save him. But how? They were surrounded by enemy soldiers.
Listen. Ich helfe dir. I help you.
Frank took off his own bandages and dressed Hans's wound. The two freezing young men began to warm themselves with each other's body heat. Enemy or friend, it didn't matter anymore.
Danke, thank you, family.
Yes. Mother, father, kleine Schwester, little sister.
Until morning, they showed each other their photos. Hans with his lover in Hamburg. Frank with his family's photo on the farm. In the middle of two world wars, two young hearts remembered humanity. By morning, Frank had made a plan. He would carry Hans to his lines and provide medical attention. But that meant risking his own life.
Morrison, where are you, son? Give me a reconnaissance report.
At that critical moment, Frank made his toughest decision yet. He took Hans on his back and started advancing toward the American lines.
Captain, there's a wounded enemy soldier. He needs medical attention.
Morrison, what are you doing? He's an enemy.
No, sir. He is a human being, just like us.
That day, Frank Morrison didn't just save a wounded person. That day, he saved humanity in the middle of the war. Hans Mueller was treated by American doctors and returned to Hamburg after the war. In 1985, 41 years later, an old man in Hamburg began searching for Frank Morrison. Hans Mueller recalled the night he could never forget and the American soldier who saved him.
that night, in the darkness, I saw an angel. His uniform may have been enemy colors, but his heart beat like a human heart.
The two old men met in Hamburg in 1985. They hugged, cried, and remained friends for the rest of their lives. Frank was best man at Hans' wedding. Hans became godfather to Frank's daughter. My friends, this story shows us that even in the darkest of times, humanity does not lose its light. Wars may end, but love lives forever. Frank Morrison and Hans Mueller passed away in the same week in 2010. They were best friends until their last breath.
If I had left Hans there that night, I would have lost not only him, but also my own soul. Sometimes, preserving our humanity means protecting our enemy.